All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get back to a little bit more Sims 4 CC, the offline recording stuff. Very uncomfortable for me, but we're giving it our best shot out here. So here's the deal: I was looking for some inspiration today, and I came across these pieces, which you can see on your screen right now. I've got like this little reference sheet, and I'm really fucking with whatever this is. Like, I think it's beautiful. The rounded corners, the dark wood, everything's smooth and kind of just appealing, especially this. I like what's going on up here, but I've already made something very similar to this, but with a metal frame. So what we're going to be having a go at today is this bad boy right here. We're going to be trying to make a sofa, and I'm going to just record the whole thing as little as I can as per usual and try and walk you through it. Is this necessarily for beginners? No, but maybe if you put me on the second screen, whatever you got to do, maybe you'll learn a thing or two about Blender, about Substance Painter, about the process of making custom content for The Sims. So this is what we're going to do. I have done a single seat before, but never a sofa. And yeah, we're just going to go through the process, see how it goes. So let's start. I'm going to put my reference kind of, we're going to put it over this side, actually. We're going to put it over here today. Normally I put it on this screen, but I'm putting it on this screen and working on this one. So start from the top. Sims 4 Studio. You gotta have it. You gotta love it, unfortunately. So we'll go into here. When you open it up, you get this page. We're creating a brand new 3D mesh. So we're just gonna create a 3D mesh and hit object. Once you do this, it will come up with a bunch of items from The Sims. And this is asking you pretty much, hey, what do you want to base your new thing off? And we want to base it off a bit of a sofa. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I think we're actually looking for a bit of a two-seater, not a three-seater. And looking at some of these, most of these seem really wide. But again, I don't know. This is the weird thing. I don't know The Sims very well at all, but I do kind of know modeling a little bit. Am I the best? Absolutely not. I got so much more to learn. I've been doing this as my job, not CC, but a 3D art as a job for about 2 years or so. But this is a 3x1. Is there like a 2? This is 3x1. You got a 2x1 kind of thing going on? 3x1, 3x1. What about this one? What about this one? There's couch evolved. Oh, it's a sectional. No. I'm not about that. Is there you got a 2x1? Here we go. Love seat. Maybe we work with something like this. Or maybe people want the big boy. Maybe people, nah, it looks like it's a two. Let's bring this over here. It's a 2-piece. Let's just crack on. So we're going to work with this this love seat right here. Click next, and we're going to make a folder. I want to name, because there's a few things on here which I actually want to make. I need like a set name for this. I'm going to make this sofa, but for now, I'm just going to call it Darkwood Sofa. But if you have any ideas of like what this set would be cool, check this out. If you have like a cool name for what this set would be if it was like a CC package, let me know. I will probably use it because I don't really have creativity when it comes to the English language. Anyway, Darkwood Sofa, wonderful. We're going to name it Darkwood Sofa. Darkwood does sound kind of cool, but it also is kind of basic. So here we are, Sims 4 Studio. This is the mesh. This is all the details. We can scroll through these tabs and we get a bunch of different information. Holy moly, there's a lot of rig slots on here, but we're going to do our best to keep it pretty much exactly the same. These slots will dictate kind of where the butt goes for different kinds of sim, I guess, toddlers and children. So it dictates where the butt will go and where the feet will hang and stuff like that, which is really neat. Kind of where our bread and butter is today is in the mesh tab and in the textures tab. There's a little bit in the catalog side. Actually, I kind of like this sofa. The sofa is kind of fucking bussin'. Now I think of it, it's maybe a newer one. But let's get to it. So we want to take LOD 0. LOD, real quick, is level of detail. Level of detail, the further something is away from you, the less detail you want to have on that particular mesh to make video games more performant. And the LOD, which is selected, is also dictated by the in-game graphical settings that you use in The Sims. For example, you're using a potato laptop, 2002, you can just about boot up Windows on it. You try and play The Sims, it's going to give you LOD 2, which is, if you look at the vertices and polygons, which is pretty much the shapes which make up the mesh, that's a lower number in comparison to this, okay? I don't do this yet with my packages, but with my CC, sorry, but if I'm going to make this a whole package, you know what, I might start doing it to make it proper, make it real. But anyway, for this one, we're just going to crack on here. So step 1, LOD 0. We're going to hit export mesh, and it's going to give us a blend file, or at least it's going to want a name for it. So we're going to call it Darkwood Sofa. And once we export that, it's going to pop up Windows Explorer in our file over there. Wonderful. I'll bring it over here so you can see. And we're going to click on the Darkwood Sofa right here. Make sure I'm not muted. I'm definitely not muted. Okay, so we've got all this stuff going on here. We don't really care about this or the rig, I don't think. And we have 2 meshes here. We've got the drop shadow, which is this boy right here, and the mesh itself with the, look, it's got the little circle shadows under there as well. But we're not worried about that right now. What we're worried about is making our sofa. So I think to make sure it's in line, we're going to start by placing a cube down and getting the rough dimensions down for like the top pillow. The pillow is 1 piece. Excuse me, something like this. Okay, something like this. Let me, yeah, we'll just cook with this for a second. So that pillow goes here. We're gonna maybe move this back to here. It's a bit tall, move it down a bit. This is all very rough until we actually start cooking here, because the proportions of this will be different also, which is something we need to remember. Okay, yeah, so something like this is fine. Maybe bring it in just like a touch to see where she's lining up over here. It's kind of this sort of situation. I understand, no problem. This pillow and the top pillow seem practically identical. I think the bottom one is slightly thicker than the back pillow, and then it's actually I think the bread and butter of this is the feet and the arms and how it all conforms really nicely. Kind of in this kind of section right here. It's absolutely fucking gorgeous piece of furniture. So we're gonna rough this out just really quick. So I'm doing what's called a block out, which is very basically getting some form down so you have something to kind of like work off, just to kind of vibe with. So like imagine this pillow here, this pillow will go here, and then we've got like these side bits. Okay, so that's kind of like our block out. It's only 2 pieces. You could go more in depth if you wanted to, but I'm not too worried about that. We're gonna come into solid mode, so I'm not getting flashbang the entire time. We're gonna hide the floor because we can deal with that later, and we're gonna start cooking. So it's a little bit interesting. Okay, so I think we need to start with a cylinder. Now, why are we starting with a cylinder? First, we're going to bring the verts down. Let's bring it down to maybe, I don't know, maybe a little 14 piece. We're starting with like the front legs, and we want it to be relatively proportionate. Hang on. First off, a few things I need to do before my autism takes over and I'm unable to properly do what I want to do. So we're going to work on this shape. It kind of starts small, bows out at the top, and then bows out again to go into the flat section. So we're going to give this our best shot here. How do we do that? Well, let's start thinking about the height that it comes to. It comes to about here. And we want to take these vertices right here by going in X-ray mode and kind of bring them down. We're going to want to put in a few loop cuts here, a few edges to support the geometry, and just start like playing around. So I know that this needs to come in a bit, that kind of rounds there. Then does it start to come in? Starts to come in maybe at like this point, apart from I need to select the whole lot. Starts to come in here and even here a bit as well. And then it kind of like goes up to the top there. And the whole thing's a bit thick right now, so we'll thin that out. Right now it's looking very blocky. What we will do is do like a shade smooth like this at some point, but I'm actually going to leave it like this for now, just so I have better view of the polygons. You see how like now I can see every like face individually. If I smooth it out, which is how it will be when we put it in game, kind of does this sort of thing. But it helps you also conceptualize and see where we're at as far as like poly count is concerned. So like for example, this is not bad, but we could definitely do with taking this and kind of beveling that. It needs a little bit of extra love here, so then we can pinch it in some more there, and it gives us more of a saucy little silhouette, you know what I'm saying, boys? So we're just going to keep working with this until we find something that we fuck with, and it's something along those lines. Maybe it's a little much here, so we'll just bring that out a bit, and we'll say that's kind of all right. Let's move it kind of in line where we want to go. Now, it does look like it sort of leans back, but are we gonna deal with that now, or are we gonna deal with that later? Great question. I'm also gonna bevel this out. I'm gonna split that like this and then bring it in like that, because it really, this top section really does flare out at the top. Flares out a lot. Now, am I trying to rush it? Absolutely not. But I do understand time is money. Time is money, and I know you guys have got a lot of YouTube to watch. You know what I mean? A lot of YouTube to watch. Now, right now, we can't see in the middle because we have got something called backface culling on, which is not in there and not in there. It is in here, no? Or is it in here? Backface culling. Turn that off, and then we can see all the faces. Back faces are like the side of the face that you don't see. So we're not going to see any of this. A better way to represent that is if we do face orientation. The red shit, you won't actually see it. The stuff which is grey, we will be seeing that. And that's what we want to be able to see. Anyway, so we want to pull this up and maybe go out of it a little bit. And then from here is where we would start to kind of like create our, where the rest would be. So kind of like this. So we take these and then maybe bring these forward. Now this is going to take some finagling to get right because I can't actually see the full shape of it, but it looks like it starts kind of thin here and then actually starts to get thicker towards the back. So we're actually going to just play around until we find something that we categorically fuck with. I also noticed that it's been extruded downwards, which is not what we want. So we'll just bring that back up again. If we're worried about these faces being like totally flat, we can select the faces, press S for scale, press Z for the Z axis, which is up and down, and press 0. You can see that move just an extra tiny little bit. We go back on it. You see how it's like ever so slightly tilted? So we do S, Z, 0, absolutely flattens that motherfucker, which is what we're after. And then I guess just for continuity, we should bring these faces right here and just send them back for now. Just send them back, and then we can start to kind of create the arm. For some reason, oh, why is it? Hang on, if I do that, that's not it. I want to extrude. Oh, because it's doing it on the normals, that's fine. But then if I do that, that's not it either. Hang on, we're cooking, hang on. Get all them back together. Give me this. We're going to extrude on the Y-axis. There we go, that's what we're after. That's what we're after. Now it gives us this kind of effect. And we could fill this in just like that. And then we've kind of got something going on here. Let's join all these vertices together so we have half decent topology. Topology being like the makeup and the arrangement of the vertices and the edges and all that. And it gives us something like this. Now it gets a little bit dicey down here, but I think we're okay. It definitely gets dicey like around this kind of section. But we can always come in here, maybe hit it with a little bevel, and see kind of if that fixes anything. Not particularly, but it's maybe better if we mark it sharp. No, that is also dookie-fied. That's fine. We can work on this. Maybe, actually, it's because I need to do this, isn't it? I need to bevel them at the same time. Maybe bevel this as well, a bit like that. Yeah, and it gives us that kind of finish. Okay, but we're going to continue. We're going to continue going here. That's fine. Looking at the reference, yes, we've got another leg towards the back, which kind of goes backwards. So the legs are kind of like this, not like this. They're like this. So I do need to swing this around somehow. And I also want to make this entire section here much thicker, probably like so. Even so much so I want to put like an extra bit like that, so then it's nice and thick. Yeah, nice and thick. I would even go ahead and say it needs to be wider so it comes out like that. Yes, and now that makes that section look not so bad. The shading looks a little strange on it, but I think we'll be all right on that. Yeah, just keep cooking. So how are we going to rotate this leg forward? So technically the leg wants to be like hang on, let me put the cursor here and then put the origin to the 3D cursor. So that pretty much means it's going to pivot around wherever the little dot is, the little orange dot. So really the leg wants to be like that, but we don't want the top to be like that. So How can we deal with this? How can we deal with this, Joe? How can we get creative about it? Well, the leg comes here. Maybe we can do a fun bit of like selecting, and maybe we can do this. Maybe let's select this. Let's make sure we're kind of cooking here. And then if we start to do this, maybe move it up a bit. And then look, we're kind of starting to get the remnants of something going on. Let's start to introduce a bit of like the wider end here. So let's do a scale on the X and just kind of bring that out a bit. It probably needs to come back a fair bit more as well, to be fair. So it's something more along those lines. I would also say there's enough space there. There's definitely enough space there. There's going to be a bar between this and this, and that's totally fine. We can deal with that. One thing I'm noticing is I need to have another leg like this, but here. So how could we do that maybe in an easier way? And a good way we could do it actually is maybe I could mirror this. So then we have like this mirrored on both sides. So if I do origin to geometry and then we do bound center, it puts it right in the middle. It's going to get rid of our thick edge, but that's fine. If we do a mirror, bisect, that does nothing. Maybe on the Y, there we go. So now we have something like this, which is not the intended effect. I probably need to apply my rotation. Now we're kind of getting there. Now you see we're kind of getting a little something out of it. We're going to apply that. We probably don't need this. And yeah, we'll cook with that. We'll let that be our thing. Maybe actually I would like to put the origin of this back at our little crosshair. I think I just want to do like something like this maybe. Something about this side bit doesn't really speak to me as of yet. Maybe we just got to continue to cook. I mean, the position isn't quite there. It isn't part of the full picture yet, you know, like it's not perfect. It's not perfect yet. We've got some more work to do for sure. So we're going to go into vert mode and we're going to drag these back and we are going to scale these on the X, start to bring these out. We probably want to start bringing these ones out as well. Hopefully without affecting, yeah, that's perfectly it. Without affecting the bit underneath that, the circle where the leg kind of starts. That'd be something along those lines, mayhaps. And I guess to accommodate, we could bring it out. How do we feel about maybe a little bit of rotation on it? Nah, I think I'm against it. I'm going to be honest with you. I think I'm kind of against it. Something like this, but it seems too tall at the back. But generally, it's kind of how the reference is. Let's bring it down just like a touch, maybe. Maybe what's throwing it off is because like we could do a quick little selecting the pillows, a little bit of a beveling action, a bit like so, and then you just shade it smooth and it starts to like give us like a bit of a sofa-esque kind of vibe. I will say though, this needs to be kind of more like that, I guess. Yeah, something along those lines. Okay. Also, we're missing like the supporting beam that goes here. So there's a lot which is not quite where we want it to be. Are these connected around the back? I think they aren't. So they actually have like a big beam that goes at the back here. So we can do, let's set origin, which is one of these, this one, origin to world, set that origin to 3D cursor. Now we do another mirror because we want to put it on the other side like that. So now we have two of these legs on the other side. Something about it is wrong. Something about it feels off and I can't tell what it is right now. I wonder, is it something like this? Do these need to be a little bit thicker? Maybe, I'm not sure. We're going to select this and get rid of it. Yeah, we're gonna thicken up these just a touch. Something like that. Maybe this one, just like a little bit. Yeah, whatever, I fuck with it. Okay. Now we've got to do the same trick here. You see how our feet are kind of like on the and we don't want them on the we want them on the flat. S, Z, 0, whapam. There you go. Now they're flat. Now they are flat. Let's do a little bit of tidying here. So they are flat and weird right now. I think we want to just hit like a little bit of a tiny, maybe a little chamfer instead. Not a bevel where it's round, but a chamfer where it's like just one, where it's kind of like that. Just a little something, nothing too over the top. Okay, next, this top section, anxiety inducing. We need to figure this out. what if, also, this is anxiety inducing, whatever the fuck is going on here. Let me take this, bring that over here. I need the merge, where's the merge? Vertex auto merge? Excuse me? Where is the auto merge around here, please, sire? Where is it? Where is my auto merge? It's normally like over here somewhere. No, don't fancy it. Oh, I'll tell you what, if I go in, oh no, we're still in default. Oh, I don't know. We can just do Control A, merge by distance, gets rid of them anyway. Gets rid of those extra little vertices. Yes. Okay. Do we want to connect these two together? We probably should. I'm going to do the same thing here where we can kind of like just eat that there. Yeet that there. You know what I'm saying? Here, little A, removal by distance. There's another 6 verts down the pan. We love that. Hit me with this. And then silhouette's kind of fine. Also kind of not. I think I want to take these and just bring them out just like a smidge. Yeah, something like that. I don't know if I like how flat this is. Definitely like around this. No, this kind of edge. Something makes me want to bevel it. Something makes me want to make this motherfucker nice and round, a bit like that. But we hit C. We hit C to clamp it. So like if I press C again, I can obliterate this thing. But I don't want to do that. So if I press C, it will put it in clamp mode. Okay. But it does make vertices kind of like hit each other and be in the same spot. And that's where we do the A to select all, and yeah, we just kind of like sort that out. Is this a thick enough kind of thing? I kind of fuck with it, kind of. Maybe the whole thing needs to be like, I don't know, maybe the whole lot needs to be slightly wider. I don't know, something to me is feeling a little kooky. Maybe there does need to be like a bit of a rotation out here. Maybe it does. Maybe it's too far forward, so it needs to be more like that. Oh yeah, that may be it actually. That may be it. No, I don't know. No. We'll find a middle ground here where it's kind of like this. So with that, now we need to mirror it over again. Mirror on the wall. Bang, bang, bang. Wrong. Bang, 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 bang. There she is. We don't want to bisect though. Don't worry about it. Okay, now we've got these. I've forgotten something else already, boys. Get rid of the mirror. I'm a fool. I'm an absolute fool. Right, now we need to actually bridge these together. Because there's a supporting beam here. And it's kind of thick, and it also kind of supports the cushion. It kind of supports the cushion. So I'm actually going to add an extra little loop right here, and we're going to do something like this. We're going to select these 4 faces and these 4 faces. We're going to bridge edge loops, and it gives us this kind of thing. Yippee! Not bad. But as you can see, it's kind of a little fucking weird. We're just going to merge by distance just to make sure it's nothing like that. I'm going to take these edges, and marking as sharp doesn't really do a lot in The Sims. I found that out on the forums fairly recently from like one of the guys over there, or gals, or they dems. You know what I'm saying. I'm trying to be respectful out here. They said to me, hey, marking sharp doesn't actually transfer over to The Sims. And I thought, how old is this shit? How the fuck do they make stuff without using sharp values? Anyway, here's a sharp thing. Yeah, it's just one of those things. I was like, what? Because you guys, when you make CC, you make, you use something called edge split modifier, which is fucking weird, but I only learned about it the other day. And it's integral. It's integral to the workflow. Pretty much what happens is that the way The Sims lights different materials and shit, it relies on edges being separated. So like, say you have a sharp corner, it's kind of like this. Normally in modern day game engines, you mark the top in blue, in that sharp. You mark it as a hard edge. And then that data is transferred into the texture and then into an engine. So it lights correctly. But in The Sims, it's like, well, I don't know what to do. So you have to physically take this edge and pretend you're putting a craft knife right down it, and it's kind of split. So if you wanted to, you could move them apart. But we don't want to move them apart. We apply a modifier which looks at all our blue or our sharp edges and goes like, little split. Okay. Anyway, let us continue to cook. I think from here, we want to join these faces right here. Probably even a little bit more, bigger back box right here. And these faces, like it is. Yes, and then we abridge the edge loops and it gives us this. Yippee! Okay, So let us continue to cook here. Mark this as sharp. I can't see because of my fucking sofas. My pillow sofas. What am I smoking? You know what I mean. So we've got to select these edges. Where you see all this like weird lighting that's going on. It's like fucking black and streaky and all this kind of stuff. We don't want that. We don't want that. So we go around and we mark sharp edges, kind of like this, just to eliminate that. And you see, look, it becomes all nice and nicely shaded. Now, on things which are rounded, like the pearls, we actually don't give a fuck about it because it's helping. It is helping us. Did I line that up correctly? Is it going straight? It is going straight. I'm missing a sharp though somewhere. Ah, here she is. Bing bong, sharp. There we go. So now this should look nice all the way around. I haven't done this side. So you can just kind of tell. You get a feel for it after a while of like what is sharp and what isn't. Now I think this obviously is not good enough to support the back here. I think there's also like another panel or something which comes up from the back here and also supports underneath. Do we want an underside? We could. What does an underside of a sofa look like? Fucking fantastic question. I haven't got a clue. So we're gonna guess. I might make it like slatted, I guess. I'll make it slatted and I'm gonna make it slatty. You know what I mean? She's for the street. She's slatty. So let's do this. We're making a slat real quick. Like these faces on the end, we don't need these because they're gonna be buried in the mesh. All right, we're going to bring this up and we'll go X-ray so we can see a little bit and pop it here and hit me with an array modifier. And first off, Joe, why don't you make sure that the mesh is the correct length so it goes all the way? Okay. We don't want it going in the X. We want it going in the Y and not in the X. Now, array allows me to put lots of things side by side by side by side. But I want it side by side with a little bit of a gap. So I do, instead of 1, I do 1.2. And that gives me a little bit of a gap like that. Wapam. We get something along those lines. Is it correct? You're asking the wrong individual, but all we can do is our best, and that's what I'm giving you. I actually kind of want to just bevel them because it feels nicer to bevel than to mark sharp. So we're going to do this. It gives us this kind of thing, I guess. I feel like there would be one down the middle. And then we also have the front board as well, which goes kind of like here and across. So we'll probably end up doing that as well. But anyway, we're going to apply this array modifier. And yeah, what I was saying about the faces kind of on the ends of these beams, because they're stuck in here in the sides, we don't need to worry about them. No one's going to see them. There's not going to be, we don't need to worry about a face. Holy shit, we're 30 minutes in already. I'm not even finished with the mesh yet. Okay, so let's finish off with this. We've got to do the front side. So we're going to hit probably a larger front panel here. We're going to hit the 3-piece instead of the 2-piece. Go pam, 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 pam. Something like that, maybe. Is that correct? Fuck knows. We'll give it a go. That's extruding along normals, not what we want. We want to go in edge mode, which is number 2. Go bridge like that. Now, is it okay? It is. We just need to go back and do the sharps. You know what? Quicker way to do this. Hit scale, apply scale, and we're going to do select sharp edges, but not 30. Hit me at 60. Hit me at 80. Okay, that's fine. And then we can mark these as sharp. And that gets us most of the way there. Now we just need to go in and hit these ones kind of on the side, just to give us a little bit of assistance. I can see it has marked this as sharp, and this is sharp, and this is sharp, and this is sharp. And they can metaphorically fuck off. We do not want them to be sharp. And these as well. Hang on a second. Hang on a g-dang second. All these. All this. Excuse me, can you select the edge, please? Thank you. Then clear sharp. Okay, that's what we're after. That is what we're after. Now we just need to do like the back bit that kind of like comes out, I guess. Piss. How does that work? Let's situate our sofa pieces like this, okay? And then I guess we'll use it based off that. I want this to be a bit thicker, a bit thicky, please. Thicky. That's bit thicker, thank you. Now these are very square pillows, so these ones are actually kind of whack. I'm gonna get rid of these and we're gonna go from the top because the pillows on these are mad square, like almost super sharp. And then I know I've just got rid of my reference when it comes to sizing, but listen, we're gamers around here. We do the best we can with whatever we got. And we're gonna pop that kind of in. There was does it kind of overhang? It kind of overhangs now I come to think of it. Kind of overhangs. So we're going to do something kind of like that, I guess. Bring it in. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Maybe something along those lines. And the back cushion actually sits on top of the other. Let's mark that and select all this and do a little bit of beveling. So it's kind of like this, right? Kind of like that. But there's also a bit of you got a brim. It's got a bit of a brim like here and here. So we're going to select these, do a little extrude along normal. So it gives us something like that. And we're going to take these right here and we'll bevel them. Bevel me like so. And then look, we kind of got those sections like that. We will want to mark these in here as sharp, and then that kind of gives that sort of effect. Also looks very flat, so we're gonna add some edge loops in here, and we're going to turn on proportional editing. Our good friend proportional editing. We're gonna select vertices, press G, and scroll wheel. Now we see we have this circle. Anything in this circle is actually going to be dragged along with it. So we're actually going to select a few more verts along here and just kind of bring this up in a few areas, hopefully without making it too weird. So just kind of up a little bit. It still looks a little flat, I would say. Still a little bit flat. So we're gonna, I have no idea what I've done there. Oh, I'm selecting the mesh underneath. I was like, what the fuck are these lines? Right, no, let's select these, bring this all like up. Let's turn off proportional editing, bring this up. I feel like we want a few more edge cuts. We can always do what's called decimation afterwards, which is a method of lowering the poly count on a mesh. I mean, it's not bad, but also I would say it's not good. So we just keep playing just for a minute, just for a minuet. You know what? That might be all right. And then the back one is kind of a little bit more. There we go. That was better. Maybe it was a bit thin. It was a bit thin, I think. I actually think it's way too puffy now. So we're going to take these. And what can we do here? What did I learn? Did I learn anything in my real job today? I did. I learned about vertex and smooth vertexes. So it'll kind of, if I do this, it'll kind of like smooth out the gradient between like the vertices you have selected. That actually worked really fucking nicely. We need to go under here and mark this as sharp. So we get rid of the weird shading issue there. Top, I believe, is fine. Yeah, I think we're cooking. So we'll take this one, duplicate it, give it a little flipperino. And actually to save us flattening this out, we're gonna put this in the middle and we're gonna hit a mirror like on the X and bisect. No, we're gonna hit it on the Y and bisect. And I believe, no, it is on the X. No, it's on the Z. There we go. And that flattens it all back out for us. Isn't that wonderful? That flattens it all back out for us. And now we have the second pillow. But we want to make it slightly smaller and we want to bring it here and we want to do that. And let's say it wants to go kind of like, because the Sims don't really sit back, do they? They sit on. Say it's like that. And then we need to put a bit of like wood behind here, which supports it. Doesn't come all the way up. So we'll create a cube, go whapam, make it a Slim Jim, please. Thank you. Try and line this up the best we can. So it would be something along those lines. This bottom section, awful. We want to bring this up so it kind of like just disappears behind the back. And we'll see how bad we're clipping. Yeah, we're clipping pretty fucking terribly. Clipping being like how bad the mesh is kind of like hitting itself or other meshes. And it was like really clipping into this. That I could probably live with. But what we will need to do for me to maintain what little sanity I have preserved is to take this and probably hit them with just like a little bit of a bevel like that. Probably even tighter than that. Still round, but tight like a tiger, like that. Okay. What if we were to bevel that? What is that looking like? To the boys? Weird shading, but you're catching the vibe, right? Something about this seems a little off. I could not tell you what it is though. I wonder, is the back too tall. I wonder if the back is too tall and this actually wants to be like that. And then this actually wants to be kind of like that, you know? I wonder if that wants to be like that. Yeah, actually, yeah, that was probably what it was. Also, this back cushion needs to be a little bit wider, just a smidge. Okay, there we go. So we've got a mesh. Wonderful. We have a mesh and we've made it. Yeah, that's okay. That comes in down here. Yeah. So we're going to do, the frame's going to be dark brown and the pillows are going to be, I mean, they're gray, but I kind of want to do like a millennial green because I'm addicted. I love it. Such a beautiful color. Is this good enough? Yeah, I think a lot of the heavy lifting of this particular mesh will be done in the texture. I think. I hope. He hopes. Actually, I'm gonna move these down just like a bit so they're kind of like that. Yeah, that feels a little better. I'm actually gonna move these back. Move them back just like a little bit. Yeah. All right, couple of things we need to do right now. Couple of things. One, we need to UV unwrap this sumbitch. We need to join everything together by selecting all the meshes. I want everything to join to the legs. Press Control J, and now look, we got a full thing, and I can spin it and do all kinds of shit. I can make it do tricks on it. Next, we need to split all the edges via the sharp. So all these blue edges, we don't actually want them. They're for us, really. They're for us. They're only for us. I have noticed that this doesn't actually go in there because they split wider. So we're going to amend that real quick. Good spot. Always check your meshes, boys. Always have a little look around. So we need to UV unwrap. How would we go about unwrapping this? So we've got leg, we've got top section. What is UV unwrapping? I guess really quickly is the process of cutting your mesh up by marking seams in a way of which if you were to unfold your mesh, it would lay flat, because once it's flat, we can then texture everything nicely. Okay, so the pillows, we're actually also going to go edit mode, select everything, merge by distance, 0 verts. Okay, that's good. So here's what I think we got to do. UVs will appear over here, by the way. We're going to select this and this, this and this. Do the same at the front. Bang, bang, bang. I said bang. And then this one right here, we're going to mark a seam. We need to mark, I would say, all the way around here as a seam. All the way around like this side bit. We need to clear that sharp as well. We do not want that sharp there. Mark those as seams. And if you want to see how it's kind of going, you can select, oh wait, no, because this is all connected because I did it in a very interesting way. I was going to say you could select and unwrap and just see it, but I'm not too worried about that right now. We're going to select pretty much all of our blue stuff as well. That will be UV unwrap. So we're going to do like this, mark seams. So then the seams go in red. Go here. There is probably a better way to do this, and I'm going to give that a go right now. So I'm going to select the blue. We're going to do select similar. Select similar sharpness. That selects all of the blues. We're going to mark them as seams. Okay, now we can go around here and do exactly what we did on the other side, but over here, bang, bang. Now, if I was really smart, I could have UV'd one side of this, this leg piece and then copied it over. But because I am thick, I am dense, I am dumb, slow, and illiterate, I decided to not. But that would have been a good idea. Okay, we've got the actual legs to worry about. We're going to put the seams down here so they're out of the way, down in the middle, so then you can't see them. And then we need to cut out the bottom circles, because if we don't, the UV unwrap will not resolve. So we mark all those, and we need to cut this up a little bit. If I Alt H to hide, we could put a seam. We could put a seam there, to be fair, and then probably put one that goes all the way around to here. Maybe mark that, unhide, and then on this, we just hide this. Put a seam. Yeah, put a seam down here, all the way down to here. I mean, it's hard for me to visualize it right off the rip. So I've got my seams. I'm going to hit angle-based unwrap, and we'll see what we're working with. So we have got some tomfoolery going on with this. So what is going on here? It is this whole section is not cut off. So we will probably, I would imagine, we're going to take this and we're going to cut along the corners. So we're going to take all of them, take all of them, take all of them, take all of them, mark those as a seam, clear the seam there, and then we can just test on this bit. So I've just got this pillow selected, angle base. There we go. That's much better. Look how much of the tile that's taking up. That's beautiful. That was a much smarter way of doing that, Joe. Why did we not do it like that in the first place? Again, thick, dumb, illiterate. So let's keep on moving here, selecting all the corners here, hit a seam, hit an unwrap, beautiful stuff. Now, unwrap the whole thing together and we are looking pretty fucking clean. We are looking mighty clean. There's a little bit of inconsistency going on, but not loads. I think we are okay. We want to pack this at least with 0.05, but I'm thinking, hang on, one of 49 islands failed to solve. Which island is that then? I wonder. Which island failed to solve? I think it was these. These need seams on them, like that. So then we unwrap them. They give us that. Beautiful stuff. We're also going to hit a apply scale, hit another. It's still one island which could not be unwrapped. It is this back piece. This is it. We did not mark any seams on this. So we got that, and then we'll do the same kind of thing. We're going to mark the corners right here like that. Mark them as seams. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Bring it all back in. Unwrap. There we go. Error's gone. So we've got our UVs. Are they, what's our margin looking like? I might put this up a bit to 0.01. Just a little bit more breathing room, you know, on the UV texture. And then next what we need to do is we need to add a edge split modifier, not on the angle, but on the sharp edges, okay? Because we have predefined these sharp edges. And then I believe we just apply that and away we go. And how can I tell that the edges have been split? If I were to go into edit mode, go into vertice mode and press M, and by distance, look at all these extra vertices that it's made, because it's taken edges and cut them, and it's left two vertices in exactly the same place all over the mesh. So I think we're in a good spot. Let's bring back in the Sims mesh. This is the Sims mesh, and then we have our mesh. What we want to do is, I think all we need to do is ensure that the cut numbers are the same. I don't 100% understand the cut numbers, but I can tell you that they are in here somewhere. So here we go. Into scene, cut 1. So the shadow is cut 0, and the sofa is cut 1. So what we're actually going to do, we're going to try this for the first time live. We're going to delete this, change this into cut 1. Okay. We can edit these, edit the, what do you call these? The drop shadows. I want to move these so they're underneath. You can rescale them and do all this other stuff, but I'm not interested in that. I'm just going to line them up for now if I want them. Some people don't like them. I've seen some creators are like, hey, don't. But sorry, I am. Okay, so let us review and recap. Mesh made, unwrapped, edge split, merged, not merged, cut values set. I think we're ready to game. And by game, I mean texture. So here's what we do. We have our unwrapped mesh right here. Yippee. We're going to save, hit an export real quick. Export as FPS. And we're calling this Dark Sofa. Make sure you have selected objects open at the S. Right. Next, Substance Painter. Substance Painter. This is what we've got to do. Open in Substance Painter. What is Substance Painter? Substance Painter will allow us to texture the mesh in a very nice way. Now, I know back in the day, people used to do it via like Blender and geometry nodes and all that stuff. But listen, I ain't about that. I'm about, where am I going? I am about doing it this new way. Dark Sofa, here we go. Hit me with this. So, here's our mesh. But right now, it's a bit boring. It's all white and a bit fucking whack. Hit the croissant. Love it. Bake me a texture and bake it good. So what this is doing is generating all the information like lights and shadows and all that kind of stuff. And once we bake it, now look, it's looking a little bit better. A little bit glossy, but it's looking a little bit better. Now we can start doing the fun stuff. So what are we gonna do first? Let's apply the default template which I use. Assets, let's use this base which I've got and undo that. Okay, do I like what's going on with it? Not necessarily. There's a lot of stuff going on. Gradient, that can get out of it. Layer 1, that can go. Base, let's just play for a second. Hang on. Let's just play for a sec. If I do global balance, that brings up like these white edges. You know what? I'm not doing that today. I'm not doing that today. We're gonna save this real quick. Just call this dark sofa. Oh, dark wood sofa even. And I've got these wood textures here, so we're gonna find one that we kind of like. Hopefully without it completely freezing my PC. Frankly, that's ass. Stylized wood, not necessarily what we're after, but I think what we need to do is we need to put this in a group, and we'll call this wood. Okay. And we're going to black mask it, and we're going to select this icon and this one. And that allows us to kind of select what we want. If we want a wood grain texture, we may not. You know what? We may not. We may just want to fucking do ourselves the good old fashioned way and pick a brown and go to town. You know what I mean? We may just want to pick a brown and go to town. We want it slightly glossy, I think. I think we want it slightly glossy. But obviously it doesn't, it's not quite what we're after. We're trying to find, where is this color at? This color like around about here. Maybe we can keep looking at these woods. Well, that's not bad. Hang on, this might be all right. Hang on, what if I put this here? Put it within this folder. You got anything I can change with this? Roughness, ring steps. Oh, we want less rings, I think. Okay, there is normal on this. I wonder if we knock this down like a fuckload. Does that help at all? Oh, normal intensity, height position. No. Is there, where are we gone? The offset, no. I'm surprised it's not letting me kind of change the intensity unless it's dependent on this. It's not dependent on this because I can remove this and it doesn't really do a lot. And I remove that and it still keeps all that in there. Hang on, get rid of this. Huh? How's it still got that on it? Get rid of it. Fuck it. Keep throwing shit out here until something sticks, you know? What about this one? This one looks pretty neat. I mean, it's pretty big. What we got? Tiling. What on earth is happening? Okay, we're doing this the old-fashioned way. I've made the exact decision. Okay, we're going to make a base. We're going to do kind of this kind of roughness. We want an orangey kind of thing going on. Okay, I'm also going to go here, hit up a little bit of a smart mask real quick. And we want to find edges. We want to do some edging. Edges strong. And no sharpen. Blend. Balance. Contrast. And I really wanted it to actually start affecting the edges kind of like here. But it doesn't seem to want to do it. Let me put it in here. I bet it's down to the edge splitting. You know what I mean? But that is fine. In which case, we can get rid of this as well. We just just stick to what we know. We'll call this base B, and we're going to make this a slightly different color. We're going to make this a darker boy, okay? And now we're going to add a old paint to this, okay? And you may be thinking, why are we adding old paint? Well, young Padawan, if I down the blur and we start to get this sort of shit going on, and then to this, I add a filter of a directional blur and I up that intensity, you can see we start to kind of get a wood grainy effect, and then we bring down the opacity just a little bit, and now we need to do the same again. We call this C, and this one needs to be more orange. We want to get some more of this lovely orange in here, and we can play with this a little bit. The color is not correct yet, do not get it twisted, and right now it's laying exactly where B is. So we click on the mask for B, hit random a few times, hit random a few times here, hit random a few more times here, and we just go back to cooking. So we want some of these orangey tones in here. We may even want the blur directional down a little bit, and then we can tone how much orange we kind of want in here. If we look at the base color by pressing C, you can start to really see what we're kind of working with. It's definitely getting there. It does look a little bit flat though. We don't want any metallic, but I think we can definitely start to bring this roughness down like a little bit to bring like a little bit of shine to this. It's definitely getting there. I think we need bring another in. We do a D. And what else can I see in here? I can see even lighter tones probably even kind of like up here in this peach kind of realm. And this will be another kind of random situation, but we want to go up here and we maybe want to hit the balance down a bit. So there's even less of these, and we want to bring the intensity of the blur down even further. But we want these to be mad subtle, mad subtle, to the point where you'd kind of like not recognize if they weren't there, but you know, you'd miss them if they're not. Kind of like this kind of thing. And you can see with like working up to like different layers and stuff like that, does it look the best it could? Is it 100% like a wood grainy texture? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is not like a wood grain texture like at all. But is it serviceable? I would say so. It's definitely serviceable. Need to bring some of these up. So we have like different we have varying kind of shininess, but you can kind of pick up what I'm putting down here. We can work on the pillows now. So we'll call that okay, and we'll just call this pillow. And let's see what we're working with. There's no metallic or anything here. We got to find a nice green, a very nice kind of green. I like maybe like here. So let's take that, color these in, maybe something. I would say that's even too bright still. Maybe we want something like in this kind of realm. Give me like more bluish green. Yeah, put me like around here. And then we want to try and add like some texture to it. So if we look at Smart Materials, look at fabric. What we got in here? We got fabric basic hat. What the fuck does that look like? Okay, that looks like that. Let's see if we can't play with this. Add a black mask, select these, and just see if we can actually get this in the realm of where we want it to be. It's not too bad. There's a little, I don't mind the wear on it. I also wouldn't mind 100% roughness, that's fine. I wouldn't mind changing how these threads are. They're very here we go. This is what I want. I wanted something like this. So this was on like 10, right? Whereas I want it like a little bit less. And we can bring wow, the wear is so low. We're gonna bring that up actually. I like the lighter edges on this. That's better. I really like that actually. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. The height value, I wouldn't mind being able to height range, height position. There we go. This is what I'm after. So just kind of really making that subtle, and then yeah, I mean you can kind of see what I'm picking up here, right? I kind of want to add like more to this, just like a little. So what if we were to add a fabric texture in here? Okay, so we've got like some phrase going on. Let's get rid of the normal, just have color and roughness, and then we'll bring this kind of in this this kind of area. Get rid of this clouds, and what happens if we crank this? Okay, we start getting this sort of shit go on. Hit the contrast. The blur is not what we're really after. Yeah, it's not really what we're after. I thought we could fuck with it, but maybe not. We'll call that kind of how it is. Pseudo glossy wood. Do I like the green? I'm kind of tweaking about the green, or do I want it grey? Hang on, we may have to make it grey, or maybe like something like this. I tell you what, we could go warm grey, so it's kind of here, kind of in this sort of realm. God, I can't decide. No, stick to it, Joe. Stick to the green. The green is nice. People fuck with the green. Let's bring the wear down a bit. The light edges are kind of doing me in just a little. I like them, but they're doing me in. All right, so that is that. Let's save that, and we need to export some stuff out here. So default material, what do we need? We need the normal, what else do we need? We need the normal, the metallic, and I mean, this is the base color, but we're actually going to get that in a different way. Where do these go? They're going to go not here. They're going to go not the IKEA chair. They're going to go in Darkwood sofa, and we'll make a textures in here and export them in here. Export that one time for me. Now we're going to do a second export, and same place, but instead of this Unreal or whatever, we're going to go up here and we're going to do 2D view, and that will give us a base color, which is looking rather nice. So if we go into textures, it gave us all of these. It gave us our normal, which has got some like normal height data and stuff on it. It has given us this is occlusion roughness metallic. I think I probably need to change that out now I come to think of it. I kind of just want roughness. So we're going to look at this and see what else we can get out of this. Let's do this with alpha. Yeah, let's just get the roughness out of it. Let's get the roughness right here. So export that. Beautiful. We can then go back into here. SimCC, Darkwood, textures. And we'll get rid of that. We'll just do this. Should just be gray, right? This is just gray. Yeah, pretty much just gray. Okay, we are so nearly close to putting everything together, but there is something we need to do to the roughness and the normal. So we actually need to open Photoshop now. We need to open Photoshop because we need to sort out the normal, because the normals that the Sims items use are fucking irritating and they need to be in this weird ass format and you need to do some weird ass shit to it. Okay. But, yeah, this is what we got to do. We're going to put the normal in like this. We're going to do a resize first, I think. Are we going to do a resize? Nope, we're not going to do a resize. Channels. This was it. This is it. Okay, let me pull up my notepad. Go write all this down. Hang on. Add alpha. Here we go. Add, not layer. Oh, we want to, this one. Add alpha. Okay, then we want to go to red. Control A, select all, copy, paste it into alpha 1. Then we want to go to the green channel. Control A, copy that, and the green goes into the red channel and the blue channel. Okay, wonderful, 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 wonderful. So next we do a save as. Save as DDS. Now I had to install a plugin for this. So for material normal, we will save this and click OK on that box. I have everything already set up, which is wonderful. And then we have like the roughness and stuff like that. Now I'm a little rusty on this one, so we're going to pop this in and see if I can figure this shit out. We need to get rid of the background, I think. And what have we got here? So, okay, I think white is how much it impacts and black is not. So the red is glossiness. What we do is we do Control L, I think. L, Shift L. Fuck, what are the levels? Control M? God damn it. Oh, maybe I need to select it all first. Then do L, Shift L, Control L. Oh God, what is it? Levels. Where's the levels thing? Oh, I don't have, maybe I don't have it selected. That's why. Yeah, I was doing it. I just didn't have the thing selected. Isn't that great? So, jeez, levels. Bro, I just had it. It's doing lasso. Come on. It's trying to do lasso. No, stop. I know what I want. Yeah, that's fine. V, come on. I just had the levels up. I don't want to use the move tool. So it lets me levels here. Okay. What if I go here? It was, I need to put it into RGB. Where was that again? Layer, type panels. No, I think it's already, yeah, it's in RGBA. That's fine. That's fine. It's because it says normal.dds, but now it says roughness, green channel. Oh my gosh, we're fine. Thank you for whoever just subscribed right there. I hear you. Of course I hear you. We're making another one for you. You know what? I think we're gonna select all this. Was it Control I, invert me? That's what we want right there. I think this will be fine. That's what we're after. And we're gonna save this also as DDS, but this is not normal. This is roughness. I think it also could be specular, maybe. I think you gotta remember, boys, I haven't been doing this long, but people seem to be interested about like not only the process, but maybe like figuring it out, because that may give you a bit of confidence. Like, oh, this nerd is still kind of figuring it out along the way. And here we are. How long has it been? It's been over an hour. This is over an hour. We're gonna have to cut some stuff up, and that's okay. Anyway, texture done. Unwrap done. Material done. Love it. Mesh done. Now, what do? We take this, we save it, we go back into Sims 4 Studio and we start bringing everything together. First off, LOD 0, Dark Sofa, please work. Cut 1 should be our boy. There he is. Okay, we're going to do LOD 1, import from Blender. Okay, I should be doing lower LODs, which have not got as many polygons. I get it, okay? You should have 2,000 polygons per tile. So I've gone over that like a little bit, but listen, I think it will be all right. It will be all right in this case. Shadow mesh. Okay, I have not done the shadow mesh. So let's export this. Darkwood sofa shadow. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. I'm certain that there is. I just don't know how to do it quite yet. We're going to open that up. We have 2 Blender files open right now. Here's what we're doing. We are copying our selected object here. We're copying our mesh. going into the shadow map, the shadow blend file, getting rid of everything. What cut number is this? 0. Wonderful. We're going to paste in ours, remove theirs, put this to 0, and this would be our shadow mesh, but we are going to decimate this just a little bit. What is decimate? It's taking the geometry of our current mesh, and what we can do is we can start to slide this down until, see, it gets like really low quality. So we're going to pop it probably about here. This is all we need, probably like a 0.2, hit apply. And that's all we need for the shadow mesh. Look what's happened. All the polys have come down, but it's still like a silhouette of our mesh, which is all we need. That's now saved. Back to Sims 4 Studio. Import on the shadow our shadow, and it should be a silhouette of our boy. There he is. Absolutely love it. Shadow again. Shadow right here. Shadow again. Import right here. Okay. So next, back to LOD0. Go to texture. Diffuse. This is our base color. Go import textures, PNG, and this one right here should be. There we go. There it is, looking nice. Normal, import the normal. We made a DDS of the normal, which is this one right here. Specular, import. I believe it's this. It may need changing. Not entirely sure, but we're going to give it our best shot. Next, we're going to switch the swatches up just a little bit here, just to kind of make it kind of okay. Catalog, we're going to call this Darkwood Sofa by Joe, made on Just Joe Show, YouTube /just_Joe_ on Twitch. Yippee! All right, we'll make it 100 for now, and let's go look at the rigs and the slots. So as we use the original as our spacer, like our reference. Most of these are in line. I would say these will be all right. I think the toddler will actually clip in here, but that is totally fine with me because I don't really play The Sims much, but it looks okay. So we're going to save this and it will give us a package file. Cross your fingers, boys and girls. We're going to hope this works first time. It's not often I get a first timer and there isn't issues. Go to the package, okay, where all our stuff is. Package, copy it, and we're going to go documents, Electronic Arts, Sims 4, mods. You can see my other CC in here. We're going to paste in the Darkwood Sofa, go to the Sims, rip that shit, and we'll see what's going on. All right, so resume a game. I have a little test world with all my CC in it. I did dress it up nicely, but I forgot to save. Nice. So don't worry about all this. Oh yeah, new wardrobe. Look, I was experimenting with some stuff here. But anyway, it's not what you're here for. All these chairs, god damn it, get out of here. See ya. Hang on, let's make this a little bit nicer in here. Okay, the moment of truth, boys and girls. Turn the grid off. We're gonna look for Darkwood Sofa. Oh, it looks a little funky. Oh wait, hang on. Okay, there's a little bit of funniness going on with the glossiness. You can kind of see it like shines, but not collectively on the wood. And there's, oh no, that's the light coming in. But aside from that, it's not too bad. I'm gonna quickly dress this up in the room and paint the walls and stuff and put it in a little scene. And you boys let me know what you think. Give me a second here. All right, I've come back. I've tried a little something. Don't judge me. I'm not the best at this. The flower pot is flowing. Don't even wait. Is the flower pot floating? It looked like it when it was down here. Oh yeah, that's move objects on for you right there. Although it says it's snapping to it. Whatever. You get the idea though, right? Dark wood, very, very nice. Just a little bit of like shading issues, which is all to do with that specular which I made. That's new tech for me. I tried my best, but I could probably figure that out. But aside from that, no weird lighting issues. It looks wonderful. I think it's a nice looking mesh. Last thing to check, does she work? So let's put a door in, just any old door. Yep, this one will do. And let's see if he will sit on it. Will he sit? I mean, what do we think? Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it's taken just over an hour or so, hour 20, but we've got a lovely custom sofa. All we worked with was an image, custom textures. Lighting is pretty fine, apart from a little bit of like the light reflecting on it, but that's fine. We can go figure that out. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. So thank you, boys and girls. If you want to pick this up as I continue to work on it, or you want to see any of the other sim stuff which I'm doing when it comes to making CC or even doing cursed stuff in the game, first off, twitch.tv/just_Joe. We would absolutely love to have you. It's a great little community on over there. Closing in, on 1,600 followers. Would be awesome to have you there. And if you want to be part of the community, you can also go to discord.gg/JustJoe Show, all one word. Thank you again, boys and girls. Hope you had as much fun watching as I did making it, and I will see you all in the next one. See ya.